All right, Brakati Hawa, Brakati Hawashai, Brakati Hawa, Brakati Hawashai, Brakati Hawa, Brakati Hawashai. Kohaloyim Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Bahashem Rakakwadash. The one is to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone, who are well over the flock. Shalom and salutations to Akim out here that's pushing the words of truth and sincerity. Shalom to the elect of Israel and scattered Israelites and Israelite foreigners. I will route this out. This video is edifying over power mouth. You see the topic say we must constantly reevaluate. I played with a few topics. That was the one that came out. But because in this world, really, you can outgrow the world, you can outpace the world in this truth. As a matter of fact, the first precept I'm gonna bring out, just get it, 1 Corinthians 15:31. You know, we change faster than the world can even pace that. Meaning we pick, the Lord is quickening our spirit. So I'm gonna just go straight to this. What Yahweh Shah is known as 1 Corinthians 15:45 says, and so it is written that it is written the first man Adam was made a living soul. The last Adam was made a quickening spirit. So if you don't understand reincarnation, you destroyed right here. Last Adam, first Adam, there was only one Adam according to Christian theology. But this reincarnation, this last Adam, even when you look at the NLT or some of the other ones, it just puts in there, but the last Adam, that is Yahweh Shah. And we know that's Yahweh Shah. We know that Yahweh Shah was also Solomon. So that last Adam, Yahweh Shah first and the last, right? So the first man Adam was made a living soul. The last Adam was made a quickening spirit, because what we're talking about is you got to continually reevaluate. So the quickening spirit helps you do that. The interlinear for quickening is pneuma, or spirit is pneuma, right? Pneuma. But quickening spirit, it says zoopio. It's a Greek word. And it says down here, metaphor of seeds quickening into life. Of seeds quickening into life. When you think about a seed, think about that situation while the seed breaks open and actually comes alive. Because the seed is like in a dead state. But once it's cracked open, then a whole nother life comes out of it. But that's how this quickening happens to brothers. That's how a quickening is. You dead up until that seed crack, right? Yahweh Shah gave that parable about, if the seed don't die, how can it begin to live and take life and grow? So metaphorically, of seeds quickening into life, it's that word quickening, i.e. germinating, springing up, like you see a little bud off of that seed, the plant starts to reach out, growing. So it's talking about growing, specifically in what we reading. 1 Corinthians 15:36, thou fool, that which thou sowest is not quickened, except it die. That's what Yahweh Shah said about the seed. It has to die, right? And when you get that death, it's growing, right? And we know the what to expect when you come into this truth. You basically have to die in a way. All right. I think that's for Colossians. I'll just prove that real quick. Colossians 3. All right. Colossians 3:1. If ye then be risen with Yahweh Shah, seek those things which are above. So that reevaluating comes with always constantly making sure you're measured up to those things that are above. You seeking those things that are above. Those things are heavenly that are above. So you can't include everything into that conversation. Automatically, you start there's things that are above, and then there's things that are below. Right? But if your mind saying those things are above, you satisfying the Lord. If ye then be risen with Yahweh Shah, right? Because once again, that idea of being dead, like a seed dying, and the Yahweh Shah being a quickening spirit, quickening causing you to grow. So that spirit, the Lord is giving you that spirit that's causing you to grow. And you wonder why you're growing. You wonder why your Hebrew getting better, your your vocab, or not your faith is building, your integrity is there. You going through certain persecution, but you making it out of them, and the Lord consistently giving you more, right? More abundantly even. That's because you dead or you risen in Yahweh Shai. It says, seek those things which are above, where Yahweh Shai sitteth on the right hand of Yahweh. So you used to seek just about everything. It didn't matter. Maybe you mixed it in with the the things that are beneath and the things that are above. You got to, right? Or you just never fixated your mind on things above. But now the Lord giving you, he continue to quicken your spirit to really recognize what you should be focused on. It says, set your affection on things above. So your attention, your love, your admiration for something, when you got affection, right? That's just deeper than you looked at it, you peeped at it. Oh, I opened my Bible this week. Now you starting to have an affection for it. It say here how you feel about it. To have one's opinion of oneself, think modest. Let's see, have understanding, be wise. You're wise now. Wisdom works differently, right? It causes you to make different decisions. It says to direct one's mind to a thing. All right. To seek, strive for. So you to seek one's interest or advantage. You see the advantages of seeking the Lord now. It's starting to work in you and work through you. That's the wisdom of this word. It actually starts to penetrate to the point where it refocuses all of your attention back on it. It says not on things on this earth. So you're directed here not to put your attention on things on this earth. You're directed to be above the things that you have to see in your everyday life. You're directed to be some type of a better individual than you used to be when you did seek things on the earth. And what's some of the things on the earth? That's why everything outside this truth gets like a reevaluation. Naturally, most things get devalued because there are things on this earth. So, you don't want like everybody else. You don't have a hunger of fire to get rich. The scriptures tell you labor not to get rich. You don't got a fire to get rich, right? Brothers are driven by different ways potentially to make money and things like that, but we don't have that fire in there that you hear rap music and you hear majority 2/3 dying over. We don't got that fire to get rich. We got a fire to be right with the Heavenly Father when he sends his son, Yahweh Shah, the second time. It says, set your affection on things above, not on things on this earth, for ye are dead, and your life is hid with Yahweh Shah in Yahweh. So we can see now, we dead. We are those seeds that dropped and died, right? And then were germinated and quickened by the Spirit of Yahweh by Shem Shah. We was those seeds, right? The scriptures tell you some seeds fall by the wayside. So this spirit, the seed planted within us, quickened us, and here we are, right? And then we desire to have more. That's why you come back to watch more videos, and it's the seed germinating and springing up. You're growing, and that's what Yahweh Shah again was known for. I'll read it one last time. 1 Corinthians 15 and 45. And so it was written, the first man, Adam, was a living soul. The last Adam was made a quickening spirit. And that quickening means growing. All right. So we got growth now. Now, when we reevaluate things, because you grow. And if you growing and something else ain't growing, you outpaced it. If you growing and something else is growing out as fast, you outpaced it. So naturally, there's always a reevaluation. Shit, things that outgrow you, reevaluate. You know what I'm saying? Things will outgrow us. So we constantly got to be aware of that. Let's get Second Esdras 2. And why would you need to reevaluate? Right? Because a lot of things just don't matter anymore or shouldn't matter to you anymore. As you get old, you start adapting to circumstances that the Lord continues to put you through, or you grow out of them. And what happens? You understand that you don't need, because of certain afflictions that the Lord's going to bring on us anyway, you don't need to be caught into them. You don't need to be to fall by him. So you got to reevaluate. I was actually looking for Ecclesiastes, and it's not going to be a long. I'll probably finish it out in about 2 minutes or so. It says, my Ecclesiastes 2:1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Okay, so you got to reevaluate now. Some of these things are the temptations of the Heavenly Father that, if not assessed correctly, will pull you out of the truth. What does that mean? That means you're going to partake in the judgments to come, that thermonuclear fire, all right, that devastation, all right, that desolation, all right, that dark and gloomy day is going to approach you as a thief in the night. Because the fearful thing about this truth is you can have it for a period of time and then the Lord could just swipe it away from you, right? Scary thing to fall into the hands of the Lord, where you can fall back. And he that, take his hand off the plow isn't fit for the kingdom, all right? So, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation, set thy heart aright. And we just went into that. The direction of where your attention is your affection. Your affection should be on heavenly things. That means you reevaluate the things that are on heavenly. Definitely got to be devaluated. Week in and week out. It says, and constantly endure and make not haste in time of trouble. And they're going to devalue themselves. If you really in the spirit of Yahweh Shemi Shah and you taking heed, right? Listening, being directed, willing to be corrected, asking, praying, seeking that the Lord guide you in wisdom, then he's going to allow certain things to become devaluated outside that sphere of importance and relevancy to your salvation. Things outside of your salvation are just not relevant. And you got good brothers around who can point that out for you, possibly if you spare zone brothers, they point them out in each other, iron sharp iron. So, brothers will have a conversation, sit down and be able to talk about certain things, that a brother might be going through, and then be able to relieve them of that pressure and that pain simply by giving them that word. Hey, look, these type of things really don't measure up or don't add up to salvation. And, it shouldn't really hinder your faith at all, but it is. Maybe you got to limit your access to that thing, said thing. Maybe you got to devalue that thing. Because sometimes in this world, you could just have a messed up devalue system. When you come in to this truth, you get a brand new valuation system. You got to be willing to throw the old one out, because it ain't going to lead to salvation. Your old value is going to lead to money and things, but not salvation. So you set your heart aright, constantly endure, make not haste in time of trouble. So you prepared for a battle, right? The battle that the Lord say you're going to fight to be able to enter into his gates in the kingdom. Let me see. Isaiah 66. I know I said I was going for 2 more minutes, but we're going to get Isaiah 66 and 15. Some of the reasons, just going through some of the basics. Of course, prophecies are driving force. This is where we get the willpower, through the spirit of Yahweh Shemi Shah. He is a spirit of prophecy. The prophecies put that fire under our asses, so to speak. Excuse my English. Isaiah 66 and 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire. So if we know that the Lord will come with fire, what is the value now of my job? Is very little to none. Now, it still holds value. Your job holds value because that's going to pay for your immediate bills. That's going to pay for your immediate meals and things like that. We all know the time of Jacob's troubles coming. The mark of the beast prophecy basically illustrates that you will not be able to buy or sell unless you had this implantable device. That's called the charagma in the Greek. There's going to be limitations to your access to food, but the Lord already has it, so that he's going to continue to bless his man, continue to bless his company of prophets, man. He's going to continue to feed us, man. We won't go hungry and we won't starve. And these are some of the things that you got to believe in. And it's all based upon faith, man. Otherwise, these are just words in the book. Isaiah 66 and 15 again. For behold, the Lord will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. And so you want to see all these diseases burned up, don't you? You want to see all of these petties burnt up, and all of the evil and the wickedness is also going to get burnt up. So that's a good thing. The Lord going to start fresh and start new. And the way he's going to do that is by destroying Mystery Babylon America. He's going to have it wiped out with thermonuclear fire. And these are things that they created, as well as the chariots of the Lord hovering above. That's why he said, I come with fire. See, the chariots like a whirlwind is talking about these UFOs, and How they spin is like a whirlwind, and they got these concentrated beams in them that just burn everything up and disintegrate it. Right? Think of World of Worlds. It says to render his anger with fury. So the Most High sent his son because his son is mad, and the Lord's anger is killed up. So everybody in the heavens is angry pretty much already with the reports of what's happening to the saints, with the reports of what we're praying back to. We're sighing and crying. We're asking the Lord to condemn this place as he said he would. We just basically praying that the Lord, further, put like this, like make speedy his promises. He promised them anyway, but we praying that the Lord hasten his promises. So hasten the rebuke, hasten the destruction that's to come, and his rebuke with flames of fire, right? It say, for by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. So you guys see that the Lord about to get busy, about to retribute, repunish and re-give out vengeance to all the adversaries of his people Israel, who the real Israelites, even in this firestorm, what's going on in the Middle East, people are starting to wake up, still understand that the true biblical Israelites didn't look like them people over there in that land. The true biblical Israelites look like, your modern day, Chris Browns or your Jakes, your Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, your I can't think of a Jake name. Same like your Michael Jordans and your Kobe Bryants and your LeBron James and your Allen Iversons. I can only think about NBA references right now. But it said for fire and sword. So the Lord gonna deal with him and plead. He ain't gonna beg, but he's gonna plead the cause, meaning he's going to judge with all flesh, man. So it's a good time. Let me continue, man. Let me continue. Jeremiah 50 and 40. And so, yeah, man, when you consider like reevaluate everything that you pay your attention to and pay mind to within the day, you should keep in mind that fiery vengeance that the Lord is about to send and plague this earth with, because that puts everything in the right perspective. I mean, you can't possibly be making these plans without thinking about World War III, can you? You can't possibly be as a matter of fact, the 2/3 are that dumb and that dim-witted, That's why you make up the perfect form of entertainment, because you niggas will completely black out and are emotionless or reactionless to a World War III probability being high. That doesn't even bother you. You still want to make it to the club that night. You still got the McDonald's coupons lined up. You still got that Casamigos, and that's all you're going to worry about. You make for perfect entertainment. You are the ever oblivious nigga. But what the Lord got set up for you is a judgment for those that forget those times. All right. Or what the Most High is capable of. Let's get Jeremiah 50. I thought it was 40. Jeremiah 50, verse 39. I'm typing 40 again. 1 second. Yeah, Jeremiah 50, verse 40. Let's go to 39. It says, therefore the wild beasts of the desert with the wild beasts of the islands shall dwell there. This is Babylon after destruction, which is America. And the owls shall dwell therein. While all these wild beasts, desert dwelling creatures, and owls dwelling here, because they're living out their natural habitat, because that's how America is going to represent to them. That's how America is going to be, a desert. So these natural dwelling desert creatures are going to inhabit this place. It's going to be a paradise for owls and buzzards, lizards, and such. It says, and it shall be no more inhabited forever. So in doing a simple reevaluation, you say, well, what are all the things I love in this world? What are all the things that excite me? What are all the things? Think about how you get emotional attachment to certain things, right? And maybe you start to think, all right, well, if nothing's going to inhabit this place forever, how much does my Hellcat really mean? Like, how much should it mean? Like, you could, enjoy it now. You got the windows rolled down, you on your way to work, whatever. Or you come home, you might not have a job. You make side income doing that thing. But how much of that how much of that moment is going to last is a forever moment. It's not. You're not building no forever moments in Babylon. You're building temporary BS moments. This is just filler up until the destruction. So instead, if the destruction is coming, turn your attention toward it. You know what I'm saying? The arrows are coming from that way. You got your shield up facing that the opposite way. We telling y'all to turn that shield around and face it towards the arrows that's about to hit you. So your attention is just like your shield in this day. And the reward for having your attention on the shield is salvation, right? The Lord begins to say things like, I am mighty to save, right? So it says, and it shall be no more inhabited forever, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. And as Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighboring cities thereof, save the Lord, so shall no man abide there, neither shall any son of man dwell therein. Who's going to dwell here? All these memories for what? All these American memories, you know. And I mean, America serves its purpose, man. It's a place, you can get your fast food here. People love their guns and their butter here, you know what I'm saying? But it's being slowly, systematically destroyed. They don't even got an answer for all of these people crossing the border right now. They worried about Hamas. We ain't even gonna get into that. The Hebrew word, word Hamas means violence. That's all we're gonna say. But this place is showing signs of weakness. It's showing signs of decay, and it shows all the signs of a nation that's on her demise, that's in her demise. Its delusion is there, all right? It's over the top. Theatrics is there, right? Usher and Kim Kardashian, can't get enough of them. It's showing the signs of decay. And the Lord says, Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. So we got an example of a nation in the ancient world that the Most High destroyed for having set amount of decay and sins, and they were immoral as a nation or as a city. They were immoral sodomites, right? Men being lovers with men and children and so forth and so on in these 5 cities, and the Lord used them for an example, right? And now that's the ensample or the sample, right, of what's to come. Just as the word as delineate, right, that just like this modern day Babylon will be a desert soon, as was Sodom and Gomorrah. Remember them 5 cities I wiped out? So the Lord kind of flashing memories. See, these are the real memories that we should be remembering. The real memories is in the past, right? That's what we Hebrew Israelites. Hebrew, that word I meaning of the past. We study the past while they study in the present. But that's why they don't have that foreshadowing type of mentality. They can't prepare when you're short-sighted. Let me continue. Well, let me just go to the next precept. I got here. I read that Colossians. Matter of fact, I'm gonna read it one more time because it does clarify and drive the point home again. That Colossians 3 and 2 again. Set your affection on things above, not on things on this earth. Not on things on the earth. And you learn to measure that. You learn to weigh that and balance that like a fine-tuned scale daily. The Lord gives you these membranes to be able to utilize so that, and He quickens your spirit. Remember that word quickening. You risen with Him now. He quickening you. He allowing you to grow. Simply and plain. He allowing you to grow in so many words and forms and fashions. And you just be able to put it all together at the end of the day. These descriptions, right? They put together, and now the Lord quickens your spirit through hearing the word, of course, through being taught the word, of course. You getting that quickening spirit. Because the thing about not being taught, all right, is that you got room for madness. And we living in a world where these spirits is everywhere. They can come through your door, man. They walk right through the wall and jump right on you. All right. And so it's a very serious thing to make sure that you in order, that it's like guarding yourself. It's like the guards around you are Akim that was set up, and elders that was set up, and apostles that was set up, to make sure that everything, all the sheep is walking orderly. Keeping the Lord's sheep is a big business. It's a heavy business. You gotta have a heavy spirit on you to continue to do it. You know, men fall out because it could be heavy for them if they weren't designed to do this. So it's a beautiful thing. There's a scripture that said, instead of a burden, try to be a blessing to those that keep you. Right? When he said have rulers over you, you know, men that have rulers over them. Yeah, we got rulers over us. We a church, we a body. You know, should the arm rule over the hand, don't it? It says, ye adulterers, James 4:4, ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of this world is enmity with Yahweh. So again, you living in the world, but you mindful of things that's to come. More so than any of your peers, more so than the world itself. The world is not worried about the Father. The Father is too far out of sight, out of mind for these people. They only see what they only believe what they can see. You are walking through spirit. You walking by faith and not by sight. So they don't even see the coming destructions. Even if you painted the picture for them, they still wouldn't be able to see it. They unruly, unbehaved, and the Lord gave them a reprobate mind. So even if you gave it to them, they couldn't think for themselves about the destruction and the wrath of the judgments to come. They can't dwell in it like you can. This is the privilege of being caught up in this truth, is that the Lord give you that little bit of, with anxiety or forethought or whatever you want to call it, to dwell on those things that people would rather not hear about. Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with Yahweh? Whoso therefore will be a friend of the world is an enemy of Yahweh. So you can't get around that. You in enemy territory. As long as you are taking heed to these scriptures, you in enemy territory. That don't mean, lose your stuff, I don't mean go crazy. It just means apply the wisdom that Yahweh Shem Yahshua has given you in these end times, because a lot of things could try to jolt you. Satan is trying to seek to destroy you, seek to sift you out. 1 John 2:15, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. We all know these scriptures, but that is definitely it. I provide this video is edifying. Till next time, shalom.